My name is Iris Estevez, and I chose to do my video interview on Jeffrey Brown. Mr. Brown was my high school AP Economics teacher 3 years ago. I remember being a senior in his class and having him always talk about his wife and how much he loved her. At the time, she had been fighting a battle with cancer. 1 year ago, she lost that battle and passed away. The reason I chose to do my interview on Mr. Brown's marriage is because him and his wife were high school sweethearts, and he loved her with all of his heart until the moment she took her last breath. The divorce rate nowadays is very high. Couples split up much too often nowadays, but they, to me, are the perfect example that true love does exist, and it is possible for two people to be together forever with the help of God. Mr. Brown, how old were you when you first met your wife, and how did you meet?
I was 19 years old, and we met in the college dorm at San Jose State.
When did you realize that you wanted to marry her?
Oh boy, probably the second time I saw her, maybe even the first time. She was that beautiful and that attractive. Having an audience here, yes. Bring all my personal background. Yes.
What kind of marriage ceremony did you have?
It was a religious ceremony. I mean, we had it actually at the church. I didn't grow up in this church, but it was like one I was familiar with in San Diego. And my wife, she went along with it because she had no particular affiliation with any particular belief. So.
Do you consider your marriage to be one that was centered around God? Around God?
Of course. Without Christ, we wouldn't have stayed married. I mean, it was all about the fact that we had a commitment, and we recognized that commitment was made before God, and both of us understood that God joined us together, and that's it. Sealed the deal.
Did you at times go through marital hardships?
Of course we did. We had difficulties, of course, but yeah, when we were married, I'll take a side note. We had a Bible passage, it's Romans chapter 5, and in it talks about the fact that we're rejoicing in our suffering, knowing suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And that was kind of what we used as our sort of our model to our marriage.
So that's how you think that God helped you through
Of
these
course,
hardships?
of course, absolutely. God was always there.
So you consider him to have been an important component of your marriage then?
He's the only reason our marriage stayed together. It's God's love and his protection and his guidance and his word was our understanding. Yes.
Is there anything that you would have done differently in your marriage, or are you happy with the way it was?
Well, since my wife is now someplace else, there are a lot of things. I wish I had told her I loved her more. I wish I had not worked so hard and spent time away from her. I look back now at every minute I had with her as being something very valuable. So in hindsight, and of course it's like anything, once it's gone you realize just how precious it is.
Why do you think your marriage was a happy marriage full of love?
Because we put Christ at the center of our lives and we loved each other. I truly enjoyed being around my wife. I truly enjoyed the time I spent with her. She was an intelligent, loving, caring, generous individual. I couldn't, if somebody said create a spouse, I couldn't have created a better one. It's exactly what I could have asked for.
Do you have any advice for those that are planning to marry in the future?
I would say, first of all, take some time and spend some time together. Get to know the person you're with, and then when you finally decide that is the right person, take it to God, and bring your marriage before Him if you believe in God. I don't see how a marriage can stay together without Christ.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
You're welcome. You're welcome.